Hi, my name is Lina, and in this video I will tell you everything that there is to know about the return tracks. The funny little tracks that are between clip tracks and master track, all the tips and tricks and features of what they do. So yeah, watch this video. Hi and welcome to LNA Does ODO Stuff. Okay, so as I said, this episode is about the return tracks on Ableton Live, what they do, how to use them. Also, check the end of all my videos, because now on put questions down below in my comments, and so it can be anything about general Q&A stuff, or it can be about music production, things that you want to know. Every week I will pick one of the questions and I will answer to the end of all my videos. So that's what's happening, new things. Yes, so let's get into this tutorial, shall we? Yes, we shall. Whoa, too bright? No, look amazing. Okay, so what are return tracks? Return tracks are very useful tools for signal processing, for routing, using them in live performance, mixing, specially mixing, like anything, to be honest. Okay, first things first. So when we open Ableton Live session, this is how it looks. We have our MIDI audio. So these are the clip tracks, and then we have return tracks and master tracks. So master track, we only have just one ever. Return tracks, we can get 12. So if you press Alt, Command, and T, we can create, as it's a shortcut for creating return tracks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait. I can't count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12. 9, 10, 11, 12. That is the level of how bad my math is. 12 return tracks. That is how many tracks we can get on that. And what you saw is that as soon as we put more return tracks, we also get the amount of sends. So I'm going to be talking about sends a little bit more later. Let's just have 2, A and B. So what you can also do is that when we go to the right corner on the right next to the master track, you see that there is this button called I/O. So that lets us see the I/O settings of the tracks, the clip tracks, return tracks, and master track. Then we have the S under there, and that is for the sends. So we can see the sends of the return tracks as well as the clip tracks. Then we have R, which just allows us to actually see the return tracks. So the difference between clip track and return track. So as you can see, I cannot add clips into these return tracks, but what we can do with the return tracks is that we can process multiple tracks, multiple signals, same time. So in other DAWs, they're called aux tracks, Logic and Pro Tools, and you need to route things and all that. But what Ableton does is that it does it all automatically. So what return track is this place where you can collect a lot of different signals and you can process all these signals at one go. In Ableton Live, you also can group things, and those work the same way as return tracks, where you can, example, if I want to group all these together, I just highlight them all and Command G, and I create this extra track where, example, slider here controls the signal of all these tracks, and I can put FX here and control all these tracks same time. So it does the same purpose in a way, but because of layout, because of workflow, because of signal routing, making it customizable for different situations, it's good to be able to use both same time. Hey, in this point, please subscribe to this channel, please hit the bell icon, please share these videos to anyone you might think that might be interested, so they might be someone who might be want to know about Ableton stuff. Yeah, let's get back to this video. So sends are play one of the most important parts of this. So in Ableton Live, what is a really good thing about sends is that you it's automatically there. You don't need to manually set up the sends. We have A, and it says A, and we have B, it says B. So what this means on the track is, example, I have this sound loop on this track, and if I play it through, okay, you can now hear it on this track, and you can hear it on the master track, right? Because it goes from the output to the master track. But what can happen now? I open this A on like that. What happens? Look at the A track on the return track. There's also signal now on the A return track. If I open the B, you see that. So you can see that there was signal now in A and B return. Well, on the A one, I don't have any effects right now, but on the B, I had a delay. So now I could hear a delay on the track while playing it. So that's called parallel processing. So example, I have a delay there, so which is the wet signal over here, but then I have the dry signal here, and then I can balance between the dry and the wet. Also, another way that I usually like explaining sends is, this is a bit weird analogy, but stay with me. I like thinking that sends is almost like, so let's say we have a track, which we think now is a room, right? So the room is next to another room that is empty. So let's say it's a return track without no effects on it. So a bit like this A return, there's no effects on it. So we had, this is our first room, and that's our second room. Between those rooms, there is a door, which means the send. Okay, so we have the room with full of the sound. And the A is the door, so we start opening the door up like this. And now, because we're opening the door, the sound from the first room is now bleeding into the other room that didn't have any sound yet. So that's what's happening, is that we're taking a signal from one place and we're taking it to another place where we can add some effects like delay or something into that room so that we're processing it also in that room. So then we have the signal in both rooms, but the other room has more, example, reverb, and the other one has just the dry normal sound. But because the door is open, you can hear both because you're standing by the door. I don't know. Did this make sense? But that's how I think about it. Okay, so what I also want to notice that in the return A and the return B, you can see that there's also sends on their tracks, but they're grayed out. And why is this? It's because we're Ableton Live is set up so that we are avoiding feedback originally. So, but if you have a purpose of, example, sending from A to B something, we can do that. But what you just need to do is to right-click the send and enable send. So now I can send whatever goes to this track to that track. So then that's like 3 rooms next to each other. So first we open door to the one room, then there's a third room after the second room, and we open door there. So yeah, so that's kind of makes sense to me. Okay, so then how can we connect otherwise sends and click tracks? How does that work? There is this area here called sends on the master track that says post and post. But there are toggle buttons, which means that when I just click them once, it changed the purpose of the button. So now it says pre. It means that we can hear a pre-fader. That's what it means. So it basically goes directly from here here, instead of going here, here, and then from here, here. So let's just look how does it look like? What does it look like? So we play that. Okay, I go to pre. Okay. But then I need to select the send also. Okay. It's very loud now because it's double size of the sound. So what happens now if I take this fader down? we can still hear it from here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And now we can control the volume on here. So what happens if I do it other way around? So if we just do it normally.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
If I take this down, I cannot control it with this, right? But if I do it this way, and I take that down, that's still there, and I can control it with it. And why is this important? Okay, why would we use pre or post? So this is something that can, example, used a lot of when you are recording or you are live performance with a lot of different people. So I talked about cue in another video, which I'm gonna link up here. If you're confused about headphone lines, how to send one, example, get headphone mixes for people, that's where you need to go and get that information. But this technique of using pre-fader instead of post is a very useful technique to combine with all the headphone mixes so that we can get, example, this signal just for the singer and the drummer, but none of the else in the band. No, none of the else. No, but not for anyone else in the band. English very good today. Not good. I hope you got that point. Not too confusing. But what I want to also show on that is that there's also another cool way of using returns only setting on that. So if I go to that track and we are at the post mode, we go to this clip track.
Yeah.
And we go send from the output, so that is the input and that's the output, and we go from here and we go select sends only. What happens?
Yeah.
It turns blue. It turns blue.
Yeah.
Then we have a different situation going. Okay, so if I play this now with only sends only, so the output is only sends only, so we're not going to the master track, and that's why I can't hear anything right now, but it's still playing. But what can happen is that when I put A on, got it? If I put B, I can hear these two same time, but if I put these off, I can't hear anything. So I can't, this is not controlling it. I'm controlling the volume of the track basically with the sends. Well, with these two tracks. And what that is good for is live performance. Let's say you have a set and we have many groups. Make sure that all the tracks are going, the outputs are going to this group. So they go from here to that. And then now it says master. So this track, the group, which is the aux track, is now going to here. But what if we go to sense only? Okay, we open A. Now I could example control the whole group volume just by using this. Are you using it live performance so that, you know, different people need different mixes, or is it going to different speakers? Is it more like a performance art? Do you need different speakers in different corners? Like, it just gives you a lot of creativity of using audio in a really flexible way. Oh, I could use the house analogy also on that. So example, the door. Yeah, so you have two rooms, yeah? And then you have the door. You have the sound on the first room, but you can't hear it until you start opening the door up. Usually we can hear it in both sides, but this way, if we have sense only, we cannot hear it in the first one, but when we start opening the door, we can start hearing, because we can only hear the other room. We can't hear the first room, we can only hear the other room. Yeah? So the sound is still there, but it's incognito. What's that word? It's hidden. We can't see it until we open it up and we're like, oh, that's where it is. I don't know. Does this make any sense? Hey, thank you so much for watching. As I said, what I will do every week is that I'm gonna answer any of the questions that you've been leaving down in the comments. So as I said, any type of Q&A stuff. Ask me anything. I will answer to one of these questions after every single video. So that's my new thing. And we're now in 3,000 subscribers. This is super crazy. So thank you so much for anyone who has subscribed. I really love that what we can do here together, and we can grow this channel and our audio stuff family. So thank you. I'll see you next week, shall I? Yes, I shall. Okay. Bye.